NFL Draft, NBA All-Star Game, MLB All-Star Game, and the Kentucky Derby. What do those 4 events have in common? Not only are they sporting events, but they're events all played by men. They're played by men and viewed widely across America. So why aren't women being covered the same as a male event like the Super Bowl? Did you know that the Women's College World Series averaged more views than the NCAA Men's College World Series? So the women averaged 1.2 million views and the men only averaged 775,000 views. Cheryl Cookie, a professor of interdisciplinary studies at Purdue, said that over the past 30 years, we have not seen a meaningful change in the amount of coverage that women's athletes receive. So women athletes, like all these sports here, receive about 5.4% of all airtime. And the Women's College, or the Women's World Cup, takes up 1.9% of that 5.4%. In the 1980s and 90s, women were generally subject to trivializing sexual or sexualization, trivializing sexualization or humor. So they were seen as desirable, just another pretty face, or basically as a joke. As a female athlete myself, this is not the case. We put in just as many long hours and just as much hard work as men do to become successful athletes. So in 2019, there was a shift, or not 2019, but in the 2000s, there was a shift to where they were not being seen so much as a pretty face, but they were being seen as the wives, the girlfriends, or the moms. So they're slowly starting to gain the respect more than there was in the past. So I'm sure most of you have heard of Colin Kaepernick. He took a knee to show his stand on social justice. But I'm sure most of you don't know that months before he first took a knee, the Minnesota Lynx wore black, which is a WNBA team, wore black shirts that say "Change starts with us, justice and accountability," to a press conference, and they refused to talk about anything besides police brutality and the killing of Philando Castile. So I'm sure most of you have seen on the back of the NFL helmets and some college teams' helmets, it says something like "We are one" or something like that. If some of y'all went to a UT volleyball game, it says "We are one" in a little patch. They started this, or they were the first athletic women's team to really show a rise in it, not him. But he was the one, so why was he shown all over the media and not them? So this is the problem. I think the men are seen more, like you see Colin Kaepernick. You don't see the 49ers, but you see the team. Like I don't know who any of these girls are. I just know that they play for the Minnesota Lynx. And so the WNBA came together as a league, and Colin Kaepernick was kind of on his own, not really the whole NFL. But now, today, it's more of the NFL. So people want to see, at a sporting event, they want to see like super compelling, colorful, artistic, interesting things at an event. And apparently, women compared to men, the women's events are bland. They're bland. So I think, I know that women are just as capable at making those buzzer beater shots. I don't know if you watched in 2018, the national championship, Notre Dame versus Mississippi State, the little point guard had a buzzer beater shot to win the national championship. That was pretty exciting. Jocelyn Allo plays for softball for Oklahoma, hits bombs. Just like Aaron Judge, just like Austin Riley for the Braves. But most people don't know who that is. And people score hat tricks. This one, Kristen Press, a hat trick with just 3 goals in a game. pretty much almost every game. She'll score 3 hat tricks. But not a lot of people know that. So in the end, women live in men's shadows, and we live in a male-dominated society, unfortunately. So go out and do your part in supporting women's sports. The Baylor women's basketball team plays New Orleans November 15th. They play Texas State November 9th at 7, so go out and watch and support women's sports.